Hi, good afternoon. Mike Mahoney, real estate agent with Keller Williams, the North Compass Group, guiding you home. Today I'm at a property where I've just completed meeting an appraiser at the property, and I wanted to go over what an appraisal is, who's responsible for it, how much it costs, when it is performed, and all the details associated around appraisal. So today, leading up to an appraisal, what has happened is a buyer has come to the property and they've made an offer to purchase, and there may have been some negotiation back and forth, and then the seller actually signed the offer to purchase, and the buyer had the opportunity to conduct a series of inspections relating to the physical property, and that has been completed, and now we've signed a purchase and sales contract, which essentially locks the two parties in and defines a closing date as well as a purchase price. And that purchase and sales contract, after we collect the deposit, is then sent to a bank or a lender who is going to loan some money on the property. And essentially what the bank is going to do is they're going to call an independent appraiser on their behalf to go out and visit the property to perform an appraisal. And what they're trying to determine is that the property is actually worth what the purchase and sales contract says it's worth, so that they can make an informed business decision to determine if it makes sense for them to actually loan money on the property. See, the bank is a business, or the lender is in the business of making loans. However, they need to do their homework to make sure that the property is actually worth what you say it's worth in your agreement or your purchase and sales contract. That's part of the issue over the past few years, where properties were maybe overinflated in value, and the banks made loans, and then the property ended up being worth less than is actually loaned. So then we have this catch-22 where the property is not worth what it was potentially said it was worth, and now, you know, people walk away from their homes, or the little hiccup in their financial situation, and now we've got problems in the economy. So as you can imagine, appraisal is a very important part of the process for the bank, definitely, and it also serves as a secondary check and balance in the system for a buyer. So as a buyer, I would hope that you used a real estate agent as a buyer's broker, and if you did, you know that you sat down after you previewed the property with your buyer's broker, and you determined your value, what you thought the property was worth, based on comparative properties in the marketplace which have recently sold. And so you formed an opinion of value and you made your offer. Now what happens is the bank actually is going to review the property. So they're going to look at the property to make sure that it's, you know, functional, that there's no physical attributes with the location, perhaps near train tracks or, you know, near an industrial park, to make sure that the value is not going to be adversely affected. They're also going to review the interior of the property to make sure that it's, you know, of the value that you say it is. So they're going to make sure that the kitchen is in place. They're going to make sure that the bathrooms are in place. Otherwise, you know, if there are issues, they may not make the loan, or they may make the loan for less than your purchase price as agreed upon in your contract, which would require the difference being made up by the buyer. So you may end up having to bring more money to the table. So it's a secondary check. It's done by the bank. However, the cost of the appraisal, which generally runs on average about $300 from what I'm seeing on settlement sheets at the real estate closings, that cost is passed through to the buyer or the person actually originating the mortgage. So you need to be aware of that. Your buyer's broker, if they're really good at what they do, they're going to know how to make an offer and structure the negotiation so that you are not financially exposed for these incidental costs should the appraisal not work out. So, you know, make sure that you're talking to your buyer's broker and that you're asking them, you know, if they know how to write a good contract or a good offer to purchase, because that's going to be key in you recouping costs if you decide to walk away because the bank can't make a loan on the property. So should you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, Mike Mahoney, the North Compass Group, at 617-980-9025. You can email me anytime at mike@northcompass.com, or you can visit us on the web at northcompass.com. But we'd love to hear your questions regarding appraisal, what steps you could do to prevent a bad appraisal or spending money that you don't need to spend. So love to hear from you. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.